We are going live. We are going live. Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Harry the Big Dog with the DJ interview. I want to thank everybody coming from YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Also, on my homepage, Facebook, our Facebook page, and our Facebook group. Welcome, everybody. So, tonight we got two special guests, and they've been on before. You know the names, you know the people. Let me bring them in. You got DJ Tommy Lee and DJ Kam today. What's
What's
going
up?
on, guys?
What's up?
What up, though?
Happy New Year.
How y'all doing today?
I'm good.
Good. Chilling.
Good.
We was
So,
on the wake up list.
why I wanted to bring you guys on today was to talk about the radio station. You guys been on the other day. Cam was on the latest, and we talked and touched on your freeagentradio.com. Download the app. That was a plug for you.
Look at that.
Working on the glare. Working on the glare. It's like,
You might have to get it closer.
So
on the glare.
we're going to talk about the radio station, and then Tommy and Cam is going to talk more about possibly getting involved with the radio station. Everybody coming to listen, for one.
Right.
And then we're going to get into some stories. We just going to talk.
Chop it up.
So
That out.
let's
Well,
go. Introduce yourself.
I think Cam should start it off.
Hi, I'm Cam, and I'm an official DJ drinker. It's like, nah. What's up, everybody? It's DJ Kam, heavy hitter, the owner of freeagentradio.com, as well as the program director, do on air, and I'm as well. That's about it.
Tommy.
What's up? I'm an international DJ, Tommy Lee. I'm a part of Free Agent Radio. That's it. You saw the interviews earlier during the week.
Official DJ.
Yeah, so we here to just chop it up.
Yeah. So let everybody know again about the radio station. Cam, since it is your station, tell everybody just a little bit more about the radio station, what type of music you play, what type of programs you have on there, because it's not only what you guys do on Saturdays and various other days of the week.
That's
Right.
The station itself been up for it's going on 8 years. We have programming Monday through Saturday. Sunday I was about to do something special, so right now currently no shows on Sunday. The programming on Monday through Saturday, pretty much from 7 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. Various shows, mixed shows. We have a gospel show. We have sports talk radio. We have Girl Underwood Radio is sending on Free Agent Radio. What else?
Your mix at 5 o'clock.
Say it again.
Your mix at 5
Oh
o'clock.
yeah. And I'm also on from in the morning to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. I come back on and do the traffic now at 6 o'clock as well. So we got that station. We have a lot of variety, a lot of there's a lot of movement, on the station. It's not the program music from one or two shows on it. Over 8 years, been able to have ended up having a very solid lineup. It literally took the 8 years to get the lineup where it's at today. Through trial and error and different people coming forward, working out, some not working out, radio. I tell everyone, you have to be committed. Radio is If you want to win in radio, you have to be consistent. It's not even about being good first. It's about being consistent first. Then if you have a great show, then that picks up. You got to be consistent. You got to be available. If somebody decides to listen to the show, you need to be there. You know, no days off. You know, guys like Flex have been, on Hot 97 for 25 years or so. The consistency is what does it. Everything else is happening. Yeah, so I tell a lot of DJs, I don't think all DJs are designed for radio all night.
That's my own personal plug. Check out the other side.
What is back? Is it back to back? Oh, you gotta come, man.
Look at that. We get bootleg already.
Exactly. Damn, that's how you know we're doing something good.
Yes. You know you're
my own version of free agent radio.
Right. You know when you got something going on when merch is getting bootleg.
Yeah,
you don't even know
about it. You don't know nothing about it.
Nothing about it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh,
we got bootleg. We on our way.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's saying it's a heavy echo.
It's heavy. I just heard it.
Yeah. 1, 2. Hey, DJ Super. Let us know if that echo is still there.
Is it me?
Yeah.
And you too.
Yeah.
DJ Howie D is here.
What up,
DJ
Howie?
is checking in.
What up, bro?
So, Tommy, let's start with how you met Kam and how you got into the radio. We're gonna do a medium version, not a short version, not a long version, but a medium version.
I was doing Violator Radio with the original Violators, and we had a show every Saturday. And it's from 3 to 5, and I got there about 2:30, 2:45, and I walked in, and Kam was already there with his another guy, and they just was enjoying the show, and it was just a good energy. They brought good energy, and I asked Kam for a drop. It's funny, I still use that drop to this day, and I asked him for a drop, and he said something in the drop, and it was like, I felt a little funny about it, but like as I listened to it, I'm like, yo, it's so appropriate. And then I got good energy from him, and then he asked me I should have a show on his platform on Free Agent, because we was already on with the Violator show, and he asked me to play some music for an hour. I forgot what was the first date. And we was doing mixes. I was doing mixes. I was getting the airplay, and then we moved a couple of dates. And just was consistent, and that's how we made it. Yeah.
Oh, so the Violator show was on Free Agent Radio?
It still is. Yeah.
It still is.
Okay.
Every Saturday from 3 to 5. Every Saturday.
Roger that. Okay.
So I kind of, and I guess he had that plan already when he made the drop, because he asked me, he asked me, hey, you want to, kind of do something on your own? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. You always want to support somebody that's doing something, and you always want to take advantage of an opportunity for more people to hear you, more people to see you. So it was a totally win-win.
Nice.
Yep.
So Kam, did you already have that in play because you heard Tommy already, or y'all just kind of clicked when you got there?
A little bit of already having it planned out. I just needed confirmation. Just wanted to see what the energy was. And I felt there was a good energy there. Yeah. I know, as being a DJ and sometimes being a part of a show that has moving parts, you sometimes want your own space, but you can really key in on what it is that you do. because when you're doing a show that has a lot of moving parts, you know, a lot of talk breaks, things like that, as a DJ, you really don't get the opportunity to really shine.
Right.
I have the room, you know, a 1 hour show is nothing. We got room for that. So we could give him the opportunity. I didn't know how much he would want to do it, you know, or that was something he desired to do, but I figured I'd at least put it out there. And he jumped on it, and we've been rocking ever since.
Nice. They still saying it's like an echo. Maybe one of you guys can mute when the other one's talking, maybe. So
now if I mute, I don't hear nobody.
You don't hear anybody? Tommy, you still hear me?
Yeah,
if I don't hear nothing if I mute.
I didn't press mute yet.
Okay. So we gonna roll with it. No worries. So going back a couple of months, tell us about this Saturday thing and how it all came about. Let them know what you guys are doing and tell us how it all came about.
Well, I used to do my mix show on Thursdays, and then Cam did some programming adjustments, and he gave me Saturday, and he said, "Do you want to follow the Violators with your hours?" So it would have been the Violators from 3 to 5, and then it would have been me from 5 to 6. So I was like, "Yeah, that's like a perfect situation." And then he gave me a slot on Monday nights also. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So, you know, more rotation, more music to be played, more opportunities to be heard. So, you know, I said, yeah, let's definitely do that. And then that Monday, I think it was before I went on Monday, but he called me and said, hey, what you think about if I come on after you playing on Monday? So, you know, you play at 8 o'clock and then he comes on at 9 o'clock, and, you know, we can just go back to back like that. And I was like, yeah, that I don't care. That sounds dope. That's more for the fans. You know what I'm saying? More for the listeners. And then, you know, I called him back and I was like, you know, what do you think about, you know, we just do a half an hour on Saturday? Because I got that date on Saturday too. So I said, let's do it on Saturday. We have more time to promote it. And, you know, we can just go back to back. And I said, and then let's just do, instead of an hour, let's do a half an hour. And he was with it. And that's when Babyface and Teddy Riley was, you know, doing their back to back or their battle or whatever you want to call it on Instagram. So, you know, I guess I piggybacked off of that whole energy. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And I actually made a flyer, and I used Babyface, and I think Cam was Babyface, and I think I was Teddy Riley, and I did some kind of craziness and just try to promote it and, you know, utilize that energy for them to bring it to our station. And it went off really well. And, you know, we had some, you know, we had to figure it out also. You know, we had some transitions because, you know, Cam is in another state. You know what I'm saying? So we had to figure out transitions, and every week it just got better. But the energy of the music was really exciting because DJing for a half an hour, it's to a DJ, that's nothing. So it's just like opening or closing a venue. You want to get your time and you want to get whatever music you want to get played within that half an hour. But the good thing about it is when Cam comes on, I'm like, oh, you playing house? So sometimes he motivates me like, oh, that's a good set. Maybe I go to house, or maybe I want to do something totally different. So the beauty of it is the people that's listening, you don't know what you're going to get. And that's the beauty. What I like about the free agent, and Cam is going to explain what free agent means, the reason why he made that name, because, you know, we playing all type of music, all type of ways, you know, and I feel the energy from Cam, you know, over the airways. I'm like, oh, really? Like, and I hear him just scratching a little extra. I hear him. I'm like, okay, because it feels like we actually are in like a space or a venue And a lot of DJs will know, like, if there's somebody before you and, you know, they might feel a little intimidated by you, you know, they're going to do a little extra that they know they can't really do. And you can see it, but it's not even a competition or a friendly competition. It's just like, man, that your house set motivated me to play this, or your hip hop motivated me to play the original parts of the hip hop you played. And it just, you know, I think it's good to be a listener, because everybody had their errors, you know what I'm saying? And like last week I played bass music, you know what I'm saying? And a couple of weeks before I played go-go. I mean, like
that was a workout.
It was a workout, right. Like where you gonna hear that, you know what I'm saying? And at Free Agent Radio, I got the freedom to, you know, to play that as long as it's clean, you know what I'm saying?
So Cam, you know, bootlegger for Tommy. Let the viewers know, you know, your thoughts coming into it.
Yeah, we just like you said, pretty much what he said. We just I think the beauty of it is when Tommy thought about doing it and us switching back to back every half an hour, because it intensified it. So what it is, we go from 8 p.m. to midnight. So Tommy starts it. He does the first half an hour. I do the second. Then he comes back. Then I go. Thus be the back-to-back word coming into play, as you're constantly hearing us saying that. And we're just going back-to-back, one right after the other, every 30 minutes up until midnight. And in different sets, you know, Tommy might play some stuff. I'm listening, because once I'm done, I'm listening to him. I'm not doing my set and kind of like drifting off into something. I become a listener of the actual station at that point. So I'm listening to what he's playing, thinking about what am I going to play next. So am I going to piggyback, like he said, off of what he's doing, or am I going to go left, or did he do something that is going to inspire me to, I said, you know what, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play some Blue Eye Soul, or I'm going to go into some disco, or, you know, some hip hop literally from 1980. Am I going to play like the first hip hop records that came out? Like whatever it is, we go into those lanes and we go hard for those 30 minutes. And then the next guy comes on. You don't know what he's going to do, but he's gonna. You have to keep the intensity. Like we force each other to keep that energy going all the way, you know, to the last minute of the show. So
it's a workout. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like being in a club in a sense. You know, when I'm here, I'm mostly here by myself. So I'm in the room by myself, got the music pumping, and I'm just going in like, you know, we're in there sipping a little something, just like I would be at the club.
Exactly.
I'm listening. I'm like, all right, what am I going to get into? You know, I'm sitting around thinking, because what I haven't done, which I keep saying I'm going to do, is I'm a plan and have like 2 or 3 sets already organized that I'm going to do. But I haven't taken the time to do it. So every set that I do, since we've been doing it, it's been off the fly. So I really have 50 minutes to decide what it is I'm going to play and how I'm going to attack the next 30 minutes. So I love that challenge. As I'm listening to him, I'm like, oh, what am I going to get into? No, I don't want to play what he just played. And da-da-da-da-da. Like, so as you're listening, you're really like trying to figure out where you're going to go just to raise the bar just a little bit, you know, to keep things moving and going. So I love that challenge and that energy. I think it's so dope. And I think the listeners kind of feel that as well. They don't feel it necessarily in the way that we're doing it, but just the intensity. They can feel like, yo, these guys are really playing some music and really going in as if we are in the club, and they're able to respond to it the way they would as if they were in the club, as they're listening, you know, sipping and drinking or doing whatever they're doing. So we're shouting them out and things like that, you know, during the course of the show.
Make sure you get the Free Agent Radio app.
Yeah, download that. Get that.
Yeah, because we see our numbers growing, and you know we love to have everybody on board, not just because of the numbers, just because of the inspiration of the music that we play. Because I know I became the DJ that I am listening to other DJs. listening to like, oh, you can play that. Like, people do want to hear that, and it inspires you, and it gives you that creative juices. You know what I'm saying? And Cam be playing some stuff, and I ain't gonna lie, I'd be like, oh, what's this? What? Yo, he played from Breaking? Like, I'm like, really? Like certain things, I'm like, oh, really? And so now I'm like, oh, really? So I'm going through my computer, and it's not even like a competition. It's like, damn, that was a good song. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I become a fan, and that's the best part, and that's why I feel it's important, because DJs, I think DJs should be fans of music. To me, I think you should be a fan of music, and you want to share the excitement with other people. And I think our listeners, when they listening, I get the response in my studio when I'm playing, they're like, what, you played that? Oh. And I'm getting texts like, you playing go-go? Like, I remember when I was in college, and, that's, hey, you utilize this platform to learn music. Cam got a radio history, which is amazing. I have a club history that I think is pretty good and can be compared to a lot of other DJs. And growing up around music, there's nothing off the table. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, we playing Rolling Stones, we playing Biggie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
DJ Super said he's proud of his young boy Tommy, and he's been consistent on the radio, and that's the key. I taught him well.
Thanks, Super. I appreciate that. Violator All-Star DJ. Shout out to the Violator
well as well. Star pupil.
Shout out Violator All-Star DJs.
Yeah, Super's an old guy. Yeah, he's an old guy.
DJ Howie D said, doing that gets you ready for the clubs when they open back up.
I'm going to be honest with you, and Cam can jump on this too. I don't know if the clubs are ready for that. You know why? Because people want to hear top 40. How long we been on? Like 8 weeks, 6 weeks, Cam? We ain't touched.
Yeah, it's week 7 or 8. Yeah.
We ain't played not one top 40 song.
We don't play the stuff that would normally be played in the club. So
right. I know.
We play, say, for instance, a Gangstar Dwick or a Naughty by Nature OPP. Like some of those typical type songs that work. Our thing was, that's the obvious. Let's go somewhere else. And the fact that we're not sitting in the club, and that's my thing. You're not slaved by the audience to play what it is that they want to hear. I'm an unfan of that. That's why I probably have been pulled to radio more than the clubs, because when I'm on radio, I'm controlling what's being played. I don't need the assistance and the help of anyone else, and I don't want to play the typical stuff that quote unquote motivates you to dance. Any good song should motivate you to dance. It shouldn't be a particular song, versus just a good song. So I prefer the radio because I have more control. Everybody's not aimed to dance. You can sit and just listen and vibe, or chair dance or what have you. So the ultimate goal isn't to have the dance floor packed, per se. You know what I mean? It's just to excite the ears. And I feel like when I'm on the radio, I can do that effortlessly, but I can play a wide range of music, of stuff you've never heard, old stuff you never heard, new stuff you never heard, and stuff that I think you need to hear. Right. I can satisfy a lot of situations instead of just playing the obvious songs that you already know. That's not going to make me a better DJ. That's just going to make me a human jukebox. I'm not in this for that.
Right.
I'm in this to motivate people and let them know I'm aware of a lot of music, and I'm gonna take time. This is me being very kind. I'm gonna take time and share my knowledge of music with you, the listener.
Right.
You got 100 songs in your catalog. I have 100,000, and I'm willing to share that. And I'm not asking you to spend any money. I'm just asking you to, I'm just asking for a little bit of your time, So that's kind of like how I look at it. So what we're doing, I love it. And like I said before, I'm pound for pound, I'm more of a fan, of being on radio than being in the club per se, because like I said, the club kind of pigeonholes you. Everybody wants to hear the same songs, every week, and to me, I'm not a fan of that in terms, there's too much music. It's just reality. There's too much music out there. It's just too much.
And I think, just to piggyback off of that, like, I think that's what, like, when I went on tour and I came back to the clubs and I was like, I don't really want to do this because nothing changed. Nothing changed. And when I was on the road playing Demeters or playing whatever, whatever song, and people like just walking by me, looking at me like, what I had people come up to me, what you know about this song? I love this song. I met my girl with this song. My kids was born to this song. I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And you can't do that in the club, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where I went, and I had to find a lane where I can play the music that, people can appreciate, even if you never heard of Bobby Caldwell, but you know the song. You know what I'm saying? You definitely know the song. And good music. Here he come. I know he's going to pull it out. I know he's going to pull it out. I am so at your house to get that. I am so at your house to get that.
You know I was ready.
I am so at your house. Me and Cam. Because Cam ain't seen your record collection yet.
Oh, I got a garage full, bro.
Yeah. That's why I come with the truck. I ain't got time. I'll look at it at my house.
Exactly. So, just get introduced to so much music. And when my parents was playing music, I didn't know what this is. And when I found it, I'm like, oh my God, that's brass construction. I didn't know that. Like, oh my God, that the trumpets or like that's music, and not knocking today's music, which, at times I do play when it's necessary, but to just see people looking at this and going to a different place when they hear these songs, that's amazing to me. And that's what we do on Saturday night. We bring people when they was in college, when they was in high school, when their parents was together, when they got divorced, when Cam got this thing, he's 11, when he started playing the Jacksons, and that's his story, but he can get onto that. But he be playing some Jackson stuff, and he's like, I'm 11 right now. So the music brings you to different places.
Yeah. So Howie D was talking about more of the energy. He kind of said that. Let me tell you guys how it makes me feel, because I've been listening the last couple of weeks. When I started this DJ interview, I come on about 10 o'clock and I stay until the end.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
It takes me back to these days when people had what they work. Yes, they do work.
Nice.
It takes me back to those days, and I'm sitting here, like Cam said, you don't have to get up and dance, but I'm sitting here working like this. Like, yo, this is
what are we doing?
Yo, down.
That's a great soundtrack. Like, for instance, Saturday Night Live. That's a great soundtrack. That's one of the best soundtracks ever made, man.
Really? Oh yeah.
Saturday Night Fever.
Shout out to the Bee Gees. Yes.
The Bee Gees.
Shout out to John Travolta. If you on, John,
Yeah. Like I play More Than a Woman. Come on, them songs are amazing. Talking jazz talk. Come on.
Yeah.
I thought they was black.
It takes me back there to a time, and you can hear this regular music all day, any day.
Exactly.
But turning on this freeagentradio.com, it just takes me back to a time like, Cam, you say some of them records take you back to 11. It takes us back, Tommy, to sitting in front of the bench in front of 1159.
Exactly, in the Bronx,
at
right?
2 a.m. in the morning.
Just feeling, just like
And you out there,
be an
there's
artist.
nothing to worry about. You know, half of us don't even have a shirt on. It's 80 degrees outside in the summertime, and we just sitting there. George got his radio there, and
Yeah.
that's where it's taking me.
Thank you for that.
In the chat, put what song does it for you.
Yeah, put it in the chat, man, and listen, shout you out. You know, we play the songs. Me and Cam is still, well, Cam is actually showing me to get more people onto my social media so they can actually get in contact with me while we on air. So I can like play requests. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shout people out. And it's, you know, I don't know how Cam feel about this, but I know when especially on Saturday, I'm playing for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing music that I love, but you know, where was you at when this song came out? You know what I'm saying? And that's how I kind of feel it. And if, you know, and that's why we want people to, you know, join us and just like the DJ interview, it's a community. And I feel like Free Agent is a community. And like that Saturday night is your time to get away with everything. You know, when the world opens up, you're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to deal with this. You're going to have to deal with this. I think you should make time for yourself to like, you know what? I need this 2 hours. I need this 4 hours. Even if you get an hour in, you know, just music puts you in different places. And me and Cam will be the bus drivers on that.
Right.
Very much. It puts you on a different planet sometime.
That's dope. Well said.
Thank you.
So, for everybody who don't know, if you're in this group, in my DJ interview group, there's an event. I have it set up every Saturday and a link to go straight to freeagentradio.com.
Oh, nice. The bootleg. The bootleg.
Yeah, bootleggers.
Bootleg.
So we're going to come back to the radio. We're going to swing back to it. Cam, when we were talking the other day, you were saying about the record stores that you ran and owned or worked at and owned. Can you touch on that a little more? Because I know you met so many people in there. I don't know how many people came through the record shop looking for things or just popped in because they knew you were there. You know, talk about that a little. And then we'll come to Tommy because he had some things that he wanted to finish up and saying. We just ran out of time.
Well, the record store I started in was called Sound Express. I'd worked there off and on for about 15 years. Started working there in late '87, early '88, and I don't know. It was a great experience. Once again, being a DJ already, being around music. Once again, like I said before, that's kind of what kept me in the loop with everything because I was constantly around music. So what better than people who go out and buy music? You know, you're around them, you're helping them out, you're helping them find songs or, you know, people back in the day, you know, we don't do it now because of the MP3 world, but there was a time where people would come in the record store, didn't know the artist, didn't know the name of the song, and they would come in half singing it and trying to make
just a little clip.
things like that. And, you know, it was our job, of course, you know, to kind of know what they were trying to put together and steer them in the right direction, you know, to get what it was that they wanted to get. But in those years of working there, I built relationships and became the official buyer for the 12 inches at our store. So I was ordering the 12 inches for the DJs, you know, and, you know, I had a budget, so I had a certain amount that I was able to get so I could regulate, you know, how many records we need of this one, that one, balancing things out. Like I said, still building relationships. Then you had the relationships with the bootleggers, because keep in mind, I'm still a DJ, so I was still going out and going to the city. And going to the city, I was meeting cats, Beat Street Records, Rock and Soul, and building relationships with the guys there and letting them know what I was doing in Jersey. Oh, by the way, I actually work at a record store, mom and pop store in Jersey, da-da-da-da-da. Built a good enough relationship, so they started sharing some of the information. So some of the connects that they had at those major stores, I had it for the mom and pop store that I worked at. And that was my leverage to allow me to have more, rank in what I was doing at the store, at Sound Express, because I had things to bring to the table. I have means to get the white labels, so I had to talk to the owner. We worked out a deal. I'll order the white labels. You give me a budget. I'll order what it is we need. What it'll do is keep a lot of these guys from Jersey from going all the way to New York to get the bootlegs or going to Philly. They'll just stay in town and buy the music here, So those were some of the things I did. And in doing all that, some time went by, and two DJ friends of mine decided to open a record store in town, which was going to end up being a direct competition to Sound Express. And they wanted me to come over and work for them. But the thing was, I was like, I'm not going to leave an establishment that I've been with for 15 years just to work with you guys as a new store. And the name of the store was the Music Factory. I said the only way I could leave Sound Express is if I had some ownership in Music Factory. That's the only thing that Sound Express can't offer me. They won't offer me any type of ownership. I said, if you guys can offer me a percentage of that, I'll make the transition and bounce. So they were cool with it. We came up with a percentage, a number amount, and all that. So I kind of took all my information and a lot of my clientele that I built over the years over to their store, and built a whole brand new nest egg over there that was in direct competition with the store that I worked with for over 15 years. Yeah. Keep in mind, this is all in Willingboro, New Jersey. Once again, right. Sometimes it sounds like a major city, but all of this energy and action is going on right in a suburban town called Willingboro, New Jersey, and South Jersey. I just gotta really clarify that.
I got a question for Cam though.
Okay.
How did you know the business aspect of it, as far as getting the partnership and stuff like that? Like, a lot of people don't know their value, and a lot of people really don't know how to get their value. How did you learn about the ownership part and stuff like that?
Just being in a mom and pop store, you know how, well, I'm not going to assume you know how that goes, but when you're part of a mom and pop store, after working for someone for 15 years, you kind of get to know a lot of things maybe that you should not know, just on default, because it's a small amount of workers. I mean, when we worked there, it was me, my cousin, and like 2 other people. It was only like 4 or 5 of us that literally ran and worked in the store. So all the ins and outs of the store, you kind of really learned on default. I would love to say that, yeah, I sat back and read books and, I was a forward thinker and I just wanted to understand the business from top to bottom. I was learning it on default. There would be days I was there by myself, had to close out the store. I'm seeing the numbers. I'm seeing how much money was generated that day and why. I could see the days that we didn't generate as much money. So you got to kind of understand how things were moving. And then being a buyer, you get to see how you really make your money, because now you're looking at the music you need to bring in to encourage people to buy product. You got to get the right product. You got to get the right amount. You don't want to run out. If a new 50 Cent album comes out, do I order 30 albums or do I just go ahead and order 100 albums? You got to kind of know how much to get for what particular release and what particular artist as they're coming out, so that you never have a situation where someone comes in the store, which you would never want to happen, is for someone to come in the store, want something, and you don't have it. That money's walking out the door. You don't want that to happen. You want that money to stay in the store. So that's where the buying and being a buyer is very important, to know those allotments, to make sure that you're covering your bases. So when someone comes in and wants something, or they're desperate for it, 9 times out of 10, you have it. That was kind of like the thing. And just, once again, me being so into music and paying attention to it, you know, by this time, keep in mind, I started working at the store 87, 88. Actually, how I got on radio in Princeton was by me working in the store. The guy that had a radio show was coming to the store buying music. He was coming to me. We didn't even know he had a radio show. He would come in, ask about certain songs. We give him our opinion, and he would buy most of the time based off of what we told him. And then one day he came in and just kind of asked us. He said, "You guys DJ or do you just work in the store?" Told him we DJ. He said, "Yo, I got a radio show." Blah 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 blah. And then it went a whole nother direction, you know. And once again, back to what I was saying on my original interview, that being around music creates other opportunities on default.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have created that. But the fact that I worked in that store allowed me to meet this guy named Mike Coleman that got me on Princeton radio station. I had a 5-year career doing that, you know, just off of me being in the record store and selling him music and being honest about what I liked, what I didn't like, and didn't sell him no junk, sold him some good music. So he built a bit of a rapport and kind of trusted my judgment and wanted to take it a step further, you know. So
shout out to Mike.
yeah, Coleman, Mike Coleman, that was my man.
Shout out to Mike Coleman.
Yeah, but basically it was just learning the business, you know, by being a mom and pop store, and the owner, you know, and the manager, Chuck and Dan, they were good dudes, man, at the end of the day. So they trusted me and my cousin Reg and really didn't keep anything from us and let us see things develop and how things move. Because they knew we were DJs, so they knew we had a love for music. So they didn't hide anything from us. Anything that could be learned, we learned. We held on to that information, and we used it as we moved on with our DJ career, you know, as far as producing. And like I said before, you know, not to get into that too deep, but we'll say that for another time, even the point when we started making records. We had insight. We saw what people were buying. So when we were making music, we had a kind of an idea of what are those formulas to making an ideal record that someone might buy. Not saying that we figured it out, but we had, you know, a better idea. Yeah, we had more insight than the average cat who never worked in a record store. You know.
How did they feel when y'all left?
Say it again.
How did they feel when you wind up leaving the record store?
Oh, they were hurt. They were hurt. It was hurt. I felt bad leaving, but once again, like I said before, I challenged my two friends who decided to open a record store to kind of rival the store that I was at, which was Sound Express. I called their bluff with the ownership thing. I didn't think they were going to go through with that. You know, once again, you know, you ask for a whole lot, and then you end up getting what you want. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of that. So when they forced my hand, I kind of had to roll with it. Like I said, the only opportunity I didn't have with Sound Express was ownership. That was never going to happen. You know, and I knew that, and the owner did that. So I was like, same store, right in the same town, with black owned, young guys. The guys are actually younger than me. You know, these were guys that I schooled. So I was like, yeah, why not? Why not? You know, let's give it a shot. You know, I've done everything here. I've been here for 15 years. There's nothing else for me to do in this store other than just to continue to work. So I just went on and took that chance to have that experience. You know, once again, being a fan of, you know, wanting to have my own, there was a opportunity to do that. So I said, why not?
Nice.
Yeah.
A clientele said that's the power of networking.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Networking is number one. Number one. In this business, you know, if you meet the right people, you do right by them, and you're honest to them. That's why I'm very candid and very honest. You guys know that from knowing me. You know what I will do and what I won't do. There's no mystery. We don't sit around and say, I don't think Cam will be for that. You be like, man, Cam ain't doing that ish. You got to be right to the rip. You know, so
no,
with that.
no fence. There's no fence with you.
No fence. I don't do the fence. No fencing. No fencing at all. No gray area. No yes, yes. So with that, that's also people know where you stand. So in building those relationships, if they know you that solid, it makes it easier for them to make those decisions. Am I going to deal with Cam, or should I pull him in on this? Yeah, I'm gonna pull him in because he's gonna go all in, because you know how Cam is. Once he's in, he's locked in. He's not one of those flaky cats. You know, if it makes sense to him, he's going to do it. If it don't make sense, he you know, he'll act like it doesn't exist. You know,
And just let me piggyback off of what he said as far as locked in, because I'm the same way, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm still with his station, because it's constantly growth. There's constant ideas that's being bounced. You know, I might have something, an idea, and he thinks about it, and like now we both kind of figuring something out, opposed to other situations that I was in. You know, I bring something to the table and they don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, but, and now I'm kind of explaining and trying to get, and to be honest with you, trying to get somebody on my thought process. And I didn't, you know, I didn't know how to, it's real frustrating when you can't, you think you have a good idea. You think you've been around music and you think you've been around entertainment long enough that you have some sort of idea to make your situation a little better. And I just felt like, you know, I had a ceiling, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yep.
And I didn't really particularly like that. And I think back to the club things, when I was in the club, I had a ceiling and it was just a little annoying. And I don't like to use the word, but I'm not going to use it, but the N word, right? Like I had ninja ears, meaning every ninja is hearing the same song. I don't want those ears, you know what I'm saying? And once I broke out from that, I knew the songs. I just had to get comfortable playing them.
Right.
And then I realized, yo, maybe I outgrew clubs. And then, because that's all I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be this guy, flyers. You leave the club and you get in your car and there's a flyer on your car. And oh, that's me. They put a flyer, you know what I'm saying, on my car where I'm going to be. So that was
where you're going to be, right?
Right. That was the biggest thing that ever I wanted at one point. You know what I'm saying? And then it became, you know, oh, they better be putting it. They better be out here working. And then it was like, all right, you know, this is kind of cool, but you know, different type of energy. And then I had to just transition and just be comfortable with myself playing music and Free Agent, you know, back to, you know, Saturday Night Live, you know, that's what we do with the, you know, just playing music, man, just fans of music.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, if you got any questions for the international DJ Tommy Lee and the heavy hitter DJ Kam, put them in the chat box. Any questions? Put them in the chat box. Let them know. So, Tommy, going to you now. There were some things we didn't touch on when we had the interview the other day, and I think you remembered a few more things after that.
Not now. I forgot.
Not now.
I was doing so much other behind the scenes stuff during this week, getting you know what we was doing, and you know, I had so many different things going on, and me and Kam is still, you know, perfecting the Saturday Night Live thing, and so, you know, but I answer any questions. I know we was talking. I think we left off the Atlantic City last year when we did what was it, Kennedy? No, Kentucky Avenue. Yeah. There's a festival in Atlantic City.
Got a question.
Okay.
Before you start that story, I think DJ Clientele came in a little late. Stop being tardy. He said what platforms are available on Free Agent Radio, and DJ Clientele, we touched on that a little. Do you guys want to kind of glaze over it, or we'll move on?
Well, it's not really platforms. It's you know, if you have interest in doing radio and you're serious about it, you know, just once again hit me up on the social media. Just, you know, inbox me and let me know what it is you're trying to do. I don't know if you're familiar with the station, but I would advise you to listen to the station before even thinking about doing anything on the station, to see if what we do even fits into what it is that you do as a DJ. You know, so I would suggest listening to the station first, so you can get a little bit of a feel of what we do musically. You know, because some people want to do things and it might not match, but you kind of want to know what you're getting into before you get into it, but there's opportunities there. I like to think that I'm hard on DJs, which I'm very hard on DJs, but I do also present opportunities as well. So I'm not one to know a lot and do a lot, but not create opportunities for cats to grow and build their brand as well. So, I guess I use that as a weapon for balance. I can go ahead and yell and curse you out, but then I could offer you an opportunity to do something, DJ wise that maybe the average DJ is not out to help another DJ normally. That's not the normal energy, just on GP. If you're in a crew or organization, that's different. If you're a violator, DJ, or a heavy hitter, within that organization that you're in, of course that flows throughout the crew. But when you're kind of standing on your own, all of us kind of represent ourselves and normally don't invite outsiders in, But in these situations, I have created situations where I do help, whether I'm working in a record store or now, having the radio station, or, even in the past, at one time I was a owner of a record pool. So I ran a record pool service for 5 years. So I was servicing records to a lot of DJs, and I didn't have, as I was telling Tommy, we were talking the other night, I didn't have all those rules that you had to be playing in a major club, a minimum of 300 people, and all that BS. My bottom line was, if you were playing somewhere, that was enough. If you played 2 gigs a month, and if they were both mobile gigs, all right, cool, that's enough, because that's still an audience, and the record labels want that information. They want that feedback, and all of that counts. You don't have to play in the tunnel just to be a part of a record pool. You can play do a cabaret with 150 people and get a gauge on what people think about a particular song that might have been serviced in the record pool, whether it's something that may work or may not work. So,
And the piggyback off of Cam, like what a lot of people might have not experienced, being in the record pool, you got to be selected to be in certain record pools. They don't just hire, they just don't have, you can just be in a record pool. You know what I'm saying? And I think just to piggyback off of what he's saying is, it didn't matter if you, like he said, you did 2 parties or a mobile DJ or whatever. If you playing in front of people, no matter how often, you can be a part of it, because a lot of the record pools, I had to get recommended actually to my first record pool.
You referred.
Yeah, I had to get referred in, and then I got a little buzz and so on and so forth, and then I went to a bigger one. Actually, I think Lady D Wells recommended me to the last record pool I was in. I'm not sure, but she was in that one too. I was in one called VIP, and there was another one called Shore.
I remember
Shore.
VIP.
Remember Shore record pool?
I remember both of them.
Okay, yeah, Al at VIP, and Bobby, was it Bob, and Missy at Shore, and now I'm with Franchise. But what I was saying before is, you had to be, I don't like to say somebody, but you had to be plugged in some way to join a record pool. And Cam, if you played in front of people, because the labels want to hear that. The label's not giving you music and you just playing in your house. You had to be in front of people, and you had to, fill out feedback and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I got a horror story if you want to share.
Please.
So I did I was on tour with Ashanti, and we was doing a transition with CDs and vinyl. So I had both, and I had some pre-recorded CDs, with some songs on it. And I never forget, on my rider, I says I need Pioneer CDJs, right? Didn't matter to mix it because I wasn't doing nothing major. I just had to drop a couple of songs or whatever. And I get there and they had some kind of amateur something CDs, and I'm like, what are these? So me being novice to CDs, I had labels on my CDs. You know, when you used to buy the blank CDs and you burn them, and then you get the little CD press and you put the labels on. Mm-hmm. So the novice of me didn't realize those make the CDs thicker.
Yeah.
Right? So I didn't know that. So my job on tour was, you know, the lights go down, and I had to wait for this like flashlight. They give me a signal, and then I go on stage, and then the spotlight come on me, and I start playing. So my first show, it's pitch black, and I'm like, yo, where's the light? Like, did I miss the light? Like, let me tell you, if somebody would have smiled, I would have saw. That's how dark it was. But my eyes were so big, and I was so nervous. And I'm like, where's the light? Where's the light? I probably waited 20 seconds. It was like a half an hour to me. Right? So they finally gave me the flashlight. I went up there and I tried to play the CD, and that sucker just got stuck. I'm in front of I don't know how many people, and I'm like, oh, what is going on? So I'm trying to eject it, but the song is playing, but the other one I'm trying to eject it, and then only thing I feel like somebody like under my legs, in between my legs, and I'm like, what is going on? And it was the guy actually switching out the turntables and actually put what I wanted. And then we started the show. And that same show, I was supposed to do Ja Rule's parts, you know, Ja Rule's lyrics. And I told,
for real?
Yeah,
You
was
was
all
like,
about you, baby.
He her voice at the end of the night.
Right.
Hey, to see that. Oh God, I want to see.
So that was me, right? So I told Mama Tina that I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know Ja Rule's versions. I don't know Ja Rule's lyrics. I know Shawnee's lyrics more than I know his. And so I wish there was like cell phones and back then, but me and Ashanti was on the stage and she's writing down Ja Rule lyrics and me and her going over the lyrics. I thought that would have been such a cool moment, but that was the beginning of another horror story. So that was the beginning of another horror story. 9 o'clock. So I'm like, wow, she's writing the lyrics down and I'm going over it. But the paper that I gave her, and Cam would know this because he did some shows too. You get the playlist of what to play, like in the concert. So I don't know if you ever pay attention at a concert, but the artists, they might turn their back and look down they look down and they can see what song is coming up next. Yeah. So we all had that. So I wasn't really sure what song was coming up because the words, when she wrote it, it all bled through the paper. So I'm turning the paper over and I'm like, oh, so it bled through. So, and then it had the band member's name. I can't read nobody. Give it up for the drummer. Give it up for the keyboard player.
Man. Oh,
and this was the first one I did by myself.
Wow.
Yeah. But, I know not to use Sharpies when I do stuff like that, though. But I just thought that was a funny story to share.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So getting back to this radio station, it's an hour up already.
Oh wow! Yeah.
The radio station.
Let me tell you, if your name wasn't Big Dog, I will say you have two big dogs on with you.
It's three now.
Dogs. Right.
So back to the radio station.
Saturday Night Live every Saturday.
What's in the future for freeagentradio.com?
Well, obviously bootlegging's in effect.
Get your merch at
First
Big Dog.
I'm gonna have to follow up with that. I'm gonna have to keep up with the bootleggers. Number one.
Next is t-shirts. You're gonna see t-shirts. Yo, get your free agent t-shirts.
Yeah. I gotta keep up with that. No, just moving the station, man. It's not rocket science. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's some big massive plan. It's just having a quality radio station available for people to listen to that's being programmed by your peers or by people just like you. You know, I'm not no big business or organization that's driven by the dollar. The station is generated and driven by good music. You know, that's why we're playing it. We're not playing it being motivated by the advertising dollar and things like that. You know, does the station make money? Yes, it does. Does it make a ton of it? No. But that's not the drive of it. The drive of it is the music. The music is the front runner, and the fact of it being free agent just means we're open to any and everything. We're not limiting ourselves to certain things, you know, like a lot of other, you know, radio stations kind of lock themselves into certain things. We're not in the business of doing that. We want to do a little bit of everything. Like I said before, we have gospel shows, we have talk radio. I have a show with people talking about finances. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just providing music. We're educating. We're, you know, just doing a lot of things. Once again, being that I have the freedom to put on the air whatever makes sense to me, you know, you come with a good idea and it makes sense and you're willing to do it on a weekly basis. I have an audience, you know, and then aside with you bringing your audience, you know, you get to have your people listen to you on a platform. Then also you get to be exposed to the audience that I've built over the last 8 years, which 9 times out of 10 is an audience that is not maybe familiar with you, that can become familiar with you. Once again, growing the brand, you know. So that's pretty much what we're doing here, and that's just the run of it. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say there's some type of ultimate plan that we get to, and it's like a da-da. You know, it's just, you know, 10 years later we'll still be doing the same thing. We'll just be 10 years older, you know, and making the adjustments with the music. But hopefully the same listeners will be able to hear well enough to listen to the station 10 years from now and 20 years from now. And eventually have my boys run the station and let them do what they're going to do with it, you know, when I'm no longer here. So that's the plan. Just good music, good energy, you know, quality programming, quality talent. And it doesn't cost you nothing. Just download the app, Free Agent Radio. We're Black owned. You know, that's a beautiful thing. I would like to think. I think that should motivate some people to participate, you know. And you know, once again, you know, it's not a lot of DJs that own and operate and run an internet radio station. As available as it is, there's not a lot. I mean, I know Clue has a station, you know, in terms of just a pure internet radio station. I don't mean, you know, the podcasts and things like that, because when you get into that, you know, you're getting into other things. But just a pure radio station, I can't. There's not too many DJs that have that. You know, you would think it would be more, but you know, then too, it takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work, so people don't want to start working.
It's a lot of input, so it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of input, and things like that. But you gotta love it. You know, like I said, I love radio. Radio is my version of a lot of people's television. You know, the way people are into Netflix, I'm into radio, and I've always been like that. Even as a child, I preferred radio over television when I was a kid. You know, so.
And just to piggyback off what Cam said, just think about the radio stations that you listen to. DJs don't pick the music that's on the station. The DJ's just the talent. They just play music that's somebody told them it's okay to play. Not knocking those stations, but I remember playing Pony. I never forget this Genuine Pony. And I heard this song, never heard it on commercial radio, and I got it, and I was playing it in the club early. and people was looking at me like, what is that? What is that? And, you know, you got the face, but then, you know, you get the chair dances, and then people kind of attach a song to the DJ. And I think this is what's important when you break music. And I come to find out, especially around that time, videos had a lot to do with the dictation of what they played on the radio. Oh. And I didn't know that. And I used to go to certain people. I'm like, yo, why you not playing this? Why did you hear this? You know? And they was like, yeah, I heard it. And I'm like, oh, why you not playing it? But it's not that easy. And what I like about internet radio and free agent radio, you know, yo, I just got this song. This song is crazy. It's a no-name person, but I might think it's hot, and it's no problem to play it. And, you know, Cam would get the feedback like, yo, I don't know the name of that song, or, you know, whatever. And then you might see somebody in the street and like, oh, you played this song. I used to walk in the street and people like, yo, every time I hear Pony, I think of you. And I didn't know how to take that, but I was one of the people that was constantly playing the song. No Diggity, like the Teddy Riley, No Diggity. I was constantly playing it because I just thought it was so dope. And that's the beauty with internet radio. Like, what's her name? I forget her name. Deja Cat. She has Juicy, and I heard this song. I'm like, this song is crazy. This song is crazy. And they didn't play it on commercial radio. They play her new single, and it's more pop and more commercial. But the other song was better than that. But DJs was playing that song. Mm-hmm. And, you know, free agent radio and internet radio is, you're going to hear some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of the internet.
So, Cam, if somebody here in the audience wants to, you know, inquire about getting a slot, you know, how would they do that? What do you look for in them? You already said a little bit of it. The dedication is one, but what do you look for?
Well, we want to hear a little sample of what it is they want to do. You know, once again, they can inbox me on any of my platforms of social media, at DJ Kam 609, Instagram, Twitter. What am I? I think it's DJ Cam Jenkins on Facebook. Probably what ends up happening, have a little conversation with the person, want to get an idea of what it is they want to do. Then give me a sample of it. Give me an audio sample of what it is you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be, if it's a 1 hour show, you don't have to give me a demo of a 1 hour show. Just give me maybe a 15-minute example of what it is that you're trying to do. And then from there, I'll, you know, evaluate whether talent wise, you know, because once again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Just because you're a DJ doesn't mean you're built for radio. I'll say it, and I'll say it. So depending on what it sounds like, how it sounds, you know, from a technical standpoint and things of that nature, you know, I'll determine whether it's something I can utilize. Will my audience, you know, give it a shot, listen to it? Is it something worth to add on to my programming to maybe uplift, you know, the amount of listeners I have, things of that nature? You know, I'll kind of evaluate, and then I'll get back to the person and let them know, you know, either way. And if it doesn't work out, I'll explain why. You know, I won't just say it's not good and no thanks and keep it moving. I'll give reason on why I don't think what was presented would fit what it is that I'm doing. And I'll really base it off of, you know, my experience on radio. There's some technical things that aren't happening. I don't know if you're mindful of clean radio edits versus dirty. You know, there's a lot of cats that are very blinded by that. They think it's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and curse and say it. They think it's cool. You hear a song that says nigger. They think it's cool. They don't deem that as a curse word. Well, FCC laws, it is a curse word. So those words don't get said over the radio. You know, so there's certain little rules like that people tend to, you would think they have a grasp on it, but they really don't. You know, when it comes time, if you ask them, write down the words that cannot be said on by the FCC, by the laws of FCC, A lot of people don't even know what they are, you know. But once again, if you listen to the radio enough, you should have a good idea, you know, of what you can and can't say. If you won't say it to your mother, chances are it won't be acceptable on the radio. You know, that's probably the safest route. You know, but you know, that's pretty much it. It's not, you know, I'm not gonna say it's not rocket science. You know, like I said, I give everybody a shot. If it you know, if it works out, it works out. If it don't, it don't. You know, but I'm never one to deny anybody the opportunity. I want to present the opportunity. That's what I'm doing. Free agent presents the opportunity for talent. If you have a good talent, you're good at what you do. But the biggest thing with me is consistency. If you can't do it 52 weeks out the year, I have absolutely no use for you. I don't care how good you are. You know, 20 weeks don't mean nothing to me. My radio station's on every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's never off. So if you're doing a 1 hour show that, which is to me is, you know, is absolutely nothing, that's 52 hours in a year. That's nothing. It's like that's 2.5 days tops, you know, not even that really, you know, so that's nothing. So, you know, that's kind of how I look at it. And like I said, with me doing radio as long as I have and being on different platforms and doing radio shows live and pre-recorded, it's all stuff that can get done. If I can do it, why can't you do it? That's how I look at it.
Nice.
Real simple.
Nice.
So I got a question for Big Dog.
Yeah.
So what made you come up with this concept as far as DJing interviews and the stuff that you've been doing for the
This actually was in my mind since 2013.
right?
To be truthful, there was a record that what's that boy name? Now I'm drawing a blank. You put me on the other side.
Nice. You'll remember it later. That's
Right,
about it.
Let me come back into my normal. Rob Bass made a record called DJ Interview. A lot of people don't know. This was back in like '86.
Okay.
And I used to listen to it all the time. It was on one of them compilation albums that nobody knew about. And
Probably a soundtrack or something.
It wasn't a soundtrack. It was like a record on each side. Some EP or something like that. So what happened was it just stuck in my mind, and I was fantasized, you know, I was heavily into the DJing back in the day until I got tired of it. Not really tired of it. Let me rephrase that. I got bigger than DJing. Instead of just DJing the party, I wanted to set the whole thing up, get the venue, get the people, get the liquor, get the food. You know, that's where I ended up. So about 2013, I put a whole package together. I had a whole folder. I got logos. I got this. I got that. They're all outdated now, so that's why you don't see a lot of it there. You're talking about 7 years ago. And when this virus hit, and that's something we don't talk about here. When this virus hit, it was a feeling that people are in the house. Not everybody, like Cam said, he's in the house by himself a lot. Not everybody is like you, Tommy Lee, who have a family. It's a lot of people that don't have nobody, and going out to bingo, going out to the store, going out to the mall was their thing. So I thought, you know, after we met the first time, Cam, The weekend, Tommy.
Oh, the weekend.
We labeled it the weekend.
Weekend.
After that weekend, I just got this thing where I wanted to be in that world again. I seen all the people. We had, we did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I came back to Virginia the next day and still amped. And it just stuck with me. So again, this virus happened. People are by themselves, and I thought, why not? I wasn't looking at D Nice or anybody, if you're guessing that. It wasn't about anything but getting to talk to people or getting people to talk who normally don't come on. A lot of people are afraid to get on video. I'm not. And to get people on out of their comfort zone. Me and Chris Gloss talked about getting people out of their comfort zone to get on and talk. Now, I know it's a lot of people looking and listening, not commenting.
Yep.
That's okay. As long as you're engaged. And I just wanted to talk to DJs because I got caught up in that world. I love the DJ world. I like DJing.
And I know, and I'm still learning about Cam's history, and some of my history, Harry. We've known each other for so long, and when you came up with the concept, I was like, okay. And then it started coming around, and it started happening, and I was getting excited. I was like, I kind of can't wait for my day. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I can't wait for my day. When is Mix Match? Come on. When is Cam? I don't think I missed the episode. And I think this was an amazing, I still think this is an amazing platform, but you're going to have a problem, right?
Yeah. I'm after this 30 days, I probably, me personally, I'm looking for you. Nobody's going to see me on no social media, no nothing.
But people's going to be looking.
A lot of work.
Right, but people's going to be looking for this at least once a week. And just
I will turn it into a weekly thing because it gives me time to set up everything. This was so rushed.
You heard it here first.
June 1st, it started. The idea only came 2 weeks prior to that.
Yeah.
To interview DJs. I didn't know nobody. Tommy, and I said it before, I thank you for introducing me to people, and I thank Lady D Wells for introducing me to people. Then I got the confidence because, it could have easily went another way, and none of us is doing this.
And not trying to give away secrets and not trying to, do any spoilers, but you got a 3-time Grammy Award winner coming on one of the days, huh?
Yeah. We got Grammy Mixer DXT coming up.
Okay, you're gonna say it, okay. Yeah. Three-time Grammy Award winner. That's amazing. And going back to the inspiration, I guess, for this, Cam was a part of this because that Sunday we was at his event and Cam was in front of at least 5,000-6,000 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember, we was backstage and Harry just looking. He's just looking. CeCe Peniston, T.S. Monk, countless other people. And it's just so funny. Like, you get used to certain things, and I'm pretty sure Cam is the same way. We backstage, we get used to certain things. Okay, this will be park at and all of that stuff. But it was just so exciting for me to see your face. You know what I'm saying? And just really absorbing what's going on. And I'm really glad that, that inspired, that helped to inspire you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was an amazing weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think had that weekend didn't happen, this doesn't happen.
Wow.
Because the fire's not lit.
Right.
So everything happened in its own way, and you know, as bad as this virus is for a lot of people, and the amount of lives that were lost, you know, this thing happened because of that. Because had that not happened, I don't get in touch with you DJs.
Right.
Everybody's working. I don't get to do this, whether it's National DJ Month or not. I don't get, you know, I'm busy, or I'm not calling you back, or
And people's mind frame is different too. Like you so, and to be honest with you, especially being a artist, and DJs are artists, you really put other things in front of your art because you kind of have to, especially if you got a full-time job. And even if you don't have a full-time job, you have to focus on how to make that next dollar. So to sit down and tell your story, you'd be surprised. People, nobody want to hear my story. I'm not really whatever. I'm not a DJ Kam. I don't do all of this. But everybody has a story, and I think it's important for people to tell their story because it inspires somebody else. And people never know where they're going to get inspired. And just like you was with me for that weekend, you know, that inspired you. Me listening to Cam's half an hour when I'm not playing, it inspires me to he went to the 80s? Oh, really? You know what I'm saying? So people got to find, like I said earlier, you got to find your time for yourself. And back to Saturday Night Live on freeagentradio.com, 8 to 12 p.m., you know, I think we kind of put people in that space to find that certain place to be. Man, we at the roller skating rink. Man, we at the block party. Man, I didn't know Tommy was that good. I didn't know Kam was that good of a DJ. What do Tommy know about this song? Somebody told Tommy about this. But the whole point is, it's a conversation for Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And then it's at work. Man, are they on this? No, they on Saturdays, right? Oh, today's Wednesday. Oh, they're going to come on Saturday. So it gives you that little anticipation. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, man, I know this interview and being interviewed definitely put it another chapter in my belt. I know that much. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank you for inviting me and allowing me to invite some of the people that I know on your platform, because I think this is amazing, and everybody has a story. And I knew Kam 3 years, and I learned stuff from him. When was he on Wednesday? I'm like, oh, word. That makes sense. That makes sense. And he's always schooling me with radio stuff. And I thought I knew radio stuff. Like, yeah, I got this. I mean, I'm a novice too, and I do know some stuff, but you know, it's important. And once again, I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. This I'm feeling that it is a platform that was needed for right now. You know, come July, you know, things start to open back up. I may not get the people that I had this month. People are doing a little bit more. People are adapting. They're doing more online parties. So I think it just came at a perfect time. So thank you guys so much for even being on it and getting to tell your story. Because everybody has a story, and we'd like to hear it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna end this thing. We have about an hour and a half. So I thank you guys again. Announce the times and the dates for the radio.
Saturday nights, back-to-back Saturday Night Live, 8 to midnight every Saturday. Yours truly, the heavy hitter DJ Kam, along with DJ International Tommy Lee. Play everything. We touch the ball. Ain't no telling. Everything. When I say everything, I mean everything.
We play freestyle. I play some freestyle, and Kam texts me. Oh, Diamond Girl, nice. I love getting the texts, though. I love getting the texts, boy.
Yeah. DJ Howard D said it's a great platform. I thank you, DJ Howard D. I would have never met him, and I met so many people on this journey
I was
And
cool as a fan. Totally.
ooh-wee, it's been great. So thank you guys much. I will talk with you soon.
Yep.
And you guys have a great night and stay safe out there.
All right. Thanks, Harry. Hi, Cam.
All right. See you guys Saturday night, everybody.
Get the app. Free Agent Radio app.
So once again, we are at a finish of a show. We talked about the radio aspect of the show because I wanted to bring this up because we had a lot of questions. Well, I had a lot of questions posed to me about, tell us more about the radio stuff. So again, this is Harry, the Big Dog, DJ Interview, and we will see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock.